The death of Nolan Wells. The family's independent autopsy is back, and the cause of death is undetermined. The independent autopsy of 18-year-old Nolan Wells is finally back. After weeks of waiting, his family hoped for answers. Instead, the report lands on a single, unsettling word: undetermined. Undetermined cause of death. Undetermined manner of death. And according to the family's own pathologist, foul play cannot be ruled out. Before we go further, this is a developing story and no one has been charged with any crime in connection with Nolan Wells' death. Nothing in this video is an accusation against any person. We're reporting only what the family's attorney and named medical expert stated publicly on July 22nd, and we'll update the moment official findings are released. Nolan Wells was 18 years old, a college wide receiver with his whole life in front of him. On the 4th of July, he did what a lot of young people do on a holiday. He got on a boat with friends, headed out to the water, and planned to come home. The group traveled to Horn Island off the Mississippi coast. But when they returned to shore, Nolan was not with them. 2 days later, on the morning of July 6th, a national park ranger found his body at the northwestern tip of the island. How he ended up there and what happened in between is exactly what everyone has been waiting for this autopsy to explain. So the family commissioned their own. It was performed by Dr. Roger Mitchell, a board-certified forensic pathologist and the president of the National Medical Association. On July 22nd, civil rights attorney Ben Crump presented the preliminary findings at the NAACP National Convention. And here is what it concluded. Cause of death, undetermined. Manner of death, undetermined. Pending investigation. After all the waiting, the report could not say how Nolan Wells died. The reason is difficult but important. This was a second examination, and the condition of the remains limited what could be studied. Most critically, Dr. Mitchell said he could not directly examine the airway and the lungs for water or the stomach contents. Those are the findings that would confirm or rule out drowning, which means the single biggest question, did Nolan drown, could not be answered by the science alone. The report did note one physical detail, a red discoloration on the back of Nolan's head, but in this matters it found no fractures and no bruising. So why can't foul play be ruled out? Crump explained it this way. Nolan could swim, and because of that, the pathologist cannot say whether he was conscious or unconscious when he entered the water, or whether he entered it on his own at all. Did Nolan enter the water on his own? On that basis, the report leaves the door open. But the experts do not all read it the same way. A former medical examiner told Fox News that the findings as described do not point to foul play. Two experienced pathologists looking at the same limited evidence, landing on different conclusions. That disagreement itself tells you how little the physical evidence can settle here. This is the part to sit with. An undetermined ruling is not a finding of wrongdoing, and it is not a clearing of anyone either. It means that on these remains, the science could not establish how Nolan died, no more, no less. The official state autopsy and toxicology results are still pending. Investigators continue to work the case, and Nolan's family, backed by civil rights leaders, is pressing for full transparency and for every photo, video, and account from that day to be examined. So where does this go from here? The Jackson County District Attorney has said that once investigators finish their work, the case will be presented to a grand jury. Prosecutors describe that as standard procedure for a suspicious or unexplained death. And this is important. A grand jury does not decide guilt. It only decides whether there is enough evidence to bring charges at all. And that step cannot happen until the investigation is complete. There are other threads still being pulled. Nolan's family and prosecutors have agreed to a joint inspection of his cell phone, each side bringing its own experts, and the family says they are still waiting to receive a basic incident report from law enforcement. Any one of those pieces could matter to what the science on its own could not answer. It's why so many people are watching. A young man went to a holiday celebration on the water and never came home. His family still doesn't have the one answer they went looking for. What happened on Horn Island? Behind the headlines and the legal filings is a person. Nolan Wells was 18 years old. We'll update this story the moment the official autopsy and toxicology results are released. If you want the full background on how we got here, our earlier breakdown is on the channel, and subscribe to follow the case with us. We'll keep following this case until there are real answers. Take a moment to remember the young man at the center of it. Rest in peace, Nolan. This has been Crime Town TV.